There are 9 major things that I intend to share with you that will enable you to go from being single to being married. So it's important that you give attention to this fundamental checklist before you ever say, I do. Lest you wake up tomorrow and say, I did not do what I said I did. All right? So let's get into it right now.
Welcome to my YouTube channel. Get ready for transformation as we dive into God's Word. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Purpose check is number 1. Number 2 is family background check. Family background check. Number 3 is what I call integrity check. Number 4 is what I call temperament check. Number 5 is what I call responsibility check. Number 6 is what I call honor check. Number 7 is what I call health check. Number 8 is what I call love check. You would have thought I'll put love first. Then lastly is what I call divine confirmation check. If you've had me talk about this before, trust me, I'm bringing in fresh insight to this now. Let's get straight to the heart of our conversation today. What is the first thing we would like to talk about right now? Let's get straight into what I call purpose connection check. Purpose connection check. It's going to be the crucial one we're going to be starting with. Successful singles who go from being single to becoming married always begin with purpose check. Let's not go into any long drama. Before we start talking about how your eyes are like that of a dove and your lips drops like honey and your cheeks are like that of a roe and your eyelids and your eyeballs are just like precious stars from a distant galaxy. Before you start talking about how that, every time I see you, there seems to be some oscillation in my emotions that causes me to vibrate on a different frequency. Not calm down. Listen, purpose check. Purpose check. Listen, can two work together except they first be agreed? Are we heading in the same direction? Do you share what I share? Is my passion an obsession for you? Are you excited about my interest? This is a picture of my future. Does it look like a future you want to be a part of? This is the nature of my assignment and the scope of my calling. Is this something you want to be a part of? I want to be a politician in the future. Would you want to be the wife of a politician? Are you going to be comfortable with women from my senatorial districts? Are you going to be comfortable with women taking pictures with me? Will you be comfortable with me hanging out with women? Won't you be jealous? Won't you be envious? Are you going to be comfortable sharing me with other women? Not sexually, not romantically, but would you be comfortable to watch me interact with other women and you don't stress the hell out of my life at all? It's about purpose connection. Andre Agassi married Brooke Shields. And for some reasons, they just got to realize that the two of them are heading in a different direction. Andre Agassi is a tennis player. Brooke Shields is a Hollywood person. And so Brooke Shields couldn't come to terms with how he functions. His world is not her world. His interest is not her interest. His obsession is not her obsession. Was not her own obsession. And unfortunately, her world is not his own interest. So these are two individuals who are divergent when it comes to purpose connection. The end of it was the fact that the two of them ended up in a divorce. Andre Agassi had to go his way. Brooke Shields had to go her own way. In the end of the day, Andre Agassi ended up marrying someone from the tennis world. I think that should be Martina or so. He married her. And guess what? When he was married to Brooke Shields, his career began to go down because there was internal tension. There was no purpose connection. But when he married someone from the same space with him, and I'm not saying you have to be a doctor, marry a doctor. The issue is about purpose connection. You can be a doctor, marry a doctor, and you don't share the same purpose. But when he married a woman who was obsessed with what he was interested in, the career of this man suddenly began to go up. It's therefore important that you begin to think about this very all-important subject called purpose. Never begin anything without a clearly defined purpose. Never begin a relationship if purpose is not well defined. So number one thing to check is what I call purpose. Check it up. Be very sure that your purpose for life is something that the person you want to marry shares with you. Did you hear that? Hey, hello, ma'am. You want to marry this guy, and all you're thinking about is how tall and how cute he is and all of that. That's fantastic, all right? But here's the point. What's your purpose as a woman? What do you live for? What do you aspire for? What do you aspire to? What's your passion? What's your interest? I just hope the man you're about to marry will not become the burial field for your life's purpose, passion, and interest. Here's what I want to say. If marriage becomes the burial place for your purpose, passion, and interest, happiness will elude you and your marriage cannot be happy. A happy woman is the one who finds expression, blossoms in the field of her husband. Like a rose petal, you suddenly spread out in the field of your husband. Your career finds expression. Your purpose finds expression. Now listen, your husband is not created in order to make your purpose happen. You are supposed to be a helpmeet to him. But here's the game. In the field of the man that you are called to marry, there will be a space for you to flourish. You cannot be a help to him if you're a sad helper. You cannot be a help to him if you are an unfulfilled helper. So although you're called to be a help to him, meet for him, the reality also is that you will blossom in his own field. You will flourish in his own field. Your gifts will not be buried in his field. Your assignment will not be buried in his own field. Hello, sir. You really want to have a happy wife? Hey, let your field be a blossoming place for her. Let her just be who she's destined to be, who she wants to be. Let her find expression in your field. If she can be happy, happiness will be your portion. Happy is a man who has a happy wife. Ooh, you can type that out. I dash you that, okay? Happy is the man who has a happy wife. And the only reason why your wife is going to be happy is because she's fulfilled in your space. That she finds expression. That she's able to pursue her dreams. And by the pursuit of her dreams, she's able to also make your dreams come true. Number two, what do you check before you say, I do? Family background. Check family background. There was a reason why in Genesis, the Bible says Abraham called his servant and said to his servant, I'd like you to go back to my own people. See, it's about family background. When the servant of Abraham saw that lady, she was quite impressionable. She gave them water, took care of their camel. She was indeed, Rebecca was an impressionable lady. Not only was she beautiful, she had character. But here's the point. Did you notice that the servant of Abraham asked the question, whose daughter are you? I need to get to know your family. It's important. Because we all understand that if it's in the root, it will be in the fruit. It will be in the branch. So it's always important that after you have done purpose check, the next important thing to check, family background. Never ignore where someone you want to marry is coming out from. where the person is coming out from. Moses will tell you, never ignore where someone comes out from. Moses brought them out of Egypt, but couldn't bring Egypt out of them. They frustrated Moses' leadership in the wilderness. Moses, who never, so to say, when he met with the Lord, never had a history of anger after meeting with the Lord. Moses became angry because of the people he was leading. Why? Where they came from. Never ignore where someone you want to marry is coming from. Residues always travels with people across the path. When they travel through the journey of life, residues from the past always moves with people into the future. I'm going to say that again. Residues from the past always move with people into the future. Tomorrow, I'm going to be breaking down this part properly as we continue the subject on baggage. Don't forget that. What a great time we had last week. All right? So, but don't forget what I just said right now. People always travel with residues from their residencies into their future. Okay? Remember, there was a woman that Jacob married. When Jacob was traveling with her, her father woke up and noticed that, hey, it's like I've lost something in my house. My gods, one of my gods have been taken. And then he ran after Jacob and his wives, who happened to be the daughter of Laban. Of Laban. Yes. When eventually met with them, it turned out that even though she hid it, we got to later discover that residues always travels to people in the journey of life from their residencies. So sometimes it's important that we unpack. I'll be teaching you that tomorrow. Family background. Get to find out what kind of parenting style was used to raise the person you're about to marry. Was it authoritarian parenting style where there are rules, regulations, and no relationships? Because if there was no relationship, you're going to suffer that challenge in your marriage, except where the person has already gotten a change in orientation, change in disposition, change in decisions, change in association, and sometimes even the need to make physical relocation changes. So do not forget what I'm sharing with you here today. Check family background. Is a person from a polygamous family? Is a person from a polyandrous family? What kind of family is a person from? How connected are the siblings? Is it a family where the siblings are connected or there's so much rancor? Is it a house where there's so much suspicion amongst each other? Is it a family where everybody is afraid of each other? Please never ignore where someone comes from. A bottle of Coca-Cola from a crate of Coca-Cola is going to taste like Coca-Cola until you empty the bottle of Coke. If you pick a bottle of Coke from a crate of Coke, what is going to happen is when you open it and you taste of it, it's going to taste Coke. All right? That you took the bottle out of the crate doesn't change the content in the bottle. It is so also with marriage, that you pulled somebody out of a family doesn't mean you've pulled the family out of the person. Oh. Woo! Did you get that now? That you pulled somebody out of a family doesn't mean that you pulled the family out of the person. That you married one person doesn't mean you've divorced every person he has related with. That you both said I do doesn't mean that the person has gotten rid of the philosophies, the ideologies, the traditions, the culture, the mindsets, the paradigms that the person had embraced before that. Family background matters. I love what Jaja said. Jaja said, if you don't empty the bottle of Coke, you still have Coke, even though you've taken the bottle out of the crate. Ooh. Can I say that again? You may have taken the bottle of Coke out of the crate of Coke. All right? Until you empty the bottle of the content, you still have the same content. Meaning, whilst interacting with the bottle, you are almost interacting with the entire crate. What you have in the others, you have in this one. The way others do, same way this one is going to do. You may think, well, I don't want to do anything with his parents. I don't want to do anything with his siblings. Well, the reality is, he is a summative expression of all of them. He learned something from his elder sister. By being close to his elder sister, he learned some things. By being close to his elder brother, he learned some things. Some good, some not so good. By being close to his mom, he learned some things. By being close to his father, he learned some things. Some good, some not so good. So that is the reason why every one of us watching right now, it's critical that we all begin to we have to start looking inwards. The Bible puts it this way. The Bible says, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. See, it's about content. You don't become a new person with old content. You can have a new marriage if you have old content from your parents' marriage. The Bible says you cannot put an old wine skin into an old wine skin. I mean, you cannot put a new wine into an old wine skin. It will burst it. Woo. Okay, though. So we need to get ahead right now. Let's get to number 3 very quickly. Number 3. If you've not shared with your friends, go ahead and share with your friends. Invite them to join us right now. We're looking at the checklist. And the second one we've just checked now is what we call family background. Before you settle with anybody, make sure you get, I'm not saying don't marry the person because of the person's family background. That's not what I've said. I'm only saying it is only wise on your part to know what you are getting into. It is only smart on your part to know the kind of family you're getting married to. Very important. Number 3, what you need to check is what we call integrity. It's called integrity check. This is very crucial. Integrity check. Before you ever settle down with anybody, be very sure that you test to be sure that this person's words are his bounds. That this woman says and she keeps to her promise. Check out for leakages of integrity. Check out for lies. Check out for deception. Check out for manipulation. Check out for insincerity. Now, any of this you ignore before marriage, you saw them, you noticed them. Insincerity, lack of honesty, inability to depend on the person, no trust. You saw all this and you still went ahead and got married to the person. You have nobody to blame but yourself. You saw the red flags, you still moved on. What, should you divorce the person? I mean, should you break up with the person? I'm not saying you should break up. I'm only saying bring it up. Say, hey, I notice that you don't always keep your promises. I notice that you don't tell the truth. Is there something you want to tell me about that? Oh, well, what you have is what you get. If really that's the case, well, for you as a lady, if you're comfortable with that kind of environment, someone who lies to you, that's okay. It's your choice. You can marry the person. And don't be surprised if after lying to you, you get to discover some other things. Don't be surprised. You had enough warning signals. Integrity check. Do not ignore signs and symptoms of dishonesty, insincerity, lack of trust, manipulation, deception. Do not ignore what you hear people say about the person, that this person doesn't keep the truth. He doesn't tell the truth. Do not ignore that. Integrity check. It is very critical if you're going to settle in with anybody. All right? Let's quickly move to the number 4. This is going to be interesting now. Temperament check. Temperament. All right? The temperament of the person. Now listen, we're talking about whether the person is strong-willed, as a choleric person, whether the person is a jolly, happy, loving, carefree person, as a sanguine, or whether the person is more of a stable emotion person, someone with stable emotions and who is very thoughtful, like a phlegmatic person, or whether the person is such a person who has unstable emotions, who has mood swings, like a melancholic person. It's important you know what the predominant temperament of the person you want to marry is. If the person is a strong-willed, choleric person, someone who acts before he thinks, or acts before the person she thinks, that's a choleric. I'm action-driven. I can slap you before I remember that I've done that. So yes, I can break some things, I can destroy things, and I can take bold moves and before I start thinking about the steps that I'm taking. If that's the kind of person you're getting married to, be aware that this person is going to take a lot of steps before I get to know. And it doesn't mean that the person doesn't love you. It's just the way they are. They are more action-oriented. So the person will take bold steps before the person thinks. Or you may be hanging out with someone who talks before thinking. And that happens to be a sanguine person. They talk before they think. Their mouth moves faster than their minds. They say what they don't mean. So it is feeling over thinking. Don't take their words too seriously. Because they can tell you today, she can wake up, a sanguine woman can wake up today and tell you, I hate you, I don't like you, I'm not marrying you again, I'm done with this marriage, I'm going to my father's house. Yes, tonight I'm flying back home to my father. And she doesn't mean it. She doesn't mean it at all. All right? So it's important that you know who you're getting connected to, who you're getting married to. Never ignore the temperament of the person you want to settle with. Now, if you want to marry someone who is a thoughtful person, who thinks before he acts, or thinks before she acts, the person will analyze, process, think through before the person ever acts. Sometimes, by the time the person is ready to act, things have happened. The person wants to take time to be very sure that, I should invest into that business. The person wants to be very sure that it's a good opportunity. And by the time the person has processed it, the phlegmatics, when they have processed everything and is ready now to act, the opportunity is gone. So, if you are getting married to such a person, you should know that part of your assignment is to increase the action potential of the person. Either you get the person to act more, or you will begin to act on behalf of the person. Otherwise, your family will not make the kind of progress that you ought to make. It will be a family where there's so much planning and less execution. Now, if you're getting married to an erratic temperament person, someone with erratic temperament, like the melancholic person who today is happy in the morning and later in the evening is sad. You never know when the person is happy and when the person next is going to be sad. The person's temperament just oscillates. The person is smiling now, you smile into bed, and then you wake up, the person is frowning, and you're like, what have I done wrong? Very, very erratic temperament, erratic emotions. All right? So here's where the game lies. You need to, these are people that like to think, and they also don't act much. But they are very wonderful people. They are the ones that brings us the poetries, and they are the ones that brings us good artwork. They have a sense of appreciation for beauty. They have their strength. Study the temperament of whosoever you want to marry. All right? Now, again, I'm not saying break up, because no temperament is perfect. I'm not saying break up. I'm saying understand it and say to yourself, am I cool with this? Is this something I have patience for? Is this something I can handle? Lest you become surprised in marriage and find out that you are not wired to handle this situation or this kind of temperament. All right. Number 5.
I believe you have been blessed by this message. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. God bless you.